is so boring. I mean, I wanted to do something new when I started this because most people do their Bleach reviews in like their bedrooms or something, and they that's their backdrop. So when I started doing this, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be fresh and new. I'm gonna have a black backdrop. That was almost a year ago, and it's gotten freaking boring at this point. I mean, yeah, when Halloween was around, I threw some lights up. When Christmas was around, I threw some lights up, and that was okay for a while. But this is actually genuinely making me kind of mad. Because every video, it looks like I'm a floating half body. Yeah, see that? See that? I'm amazing. So, basic of this rant is, if you have any cool pictures, I mean, I was gonna have like a thing where, I was gonna put my logo over it first. I was gonna put the logo that not for Neverworld, Fundamental Physicist. He designed that logo for my intro. I was gonna blow that up and put that up here, but then I realized I have no idea how to get something like that big. So another idea I had was I was gonna put, a picture of Ichigo with all his different powers, like when he started, his Shikai, his Bankai, his Hollow, his new Bankai, his new Shikai. I was going to have that up there. So if you have any cool Bleach-themed pictures, or any manga-themed pictures that you would like me to, I mean, you don't have to draw them, just any cool ideas, like leave me links to like, you know, just like a DeviantArt or something, because I really need something to put up here. It's really starting to get me mad. But, where was I? Oh yeah, the questions from the last video. What were Apache, Sun, and Mila Rose doing the entire time while, you know, what took them so long to show up at the fight? So these questions that, the responses I picked 4 of them. There wasn't as many responses to this one. The responses I chose were I Master Jedi, Ichigo Sailor Venus, Benningtown. That one was really good, the Benningtown one, because they threw it out there like, because Halibel's motif is sacrifice, she sacrificed herself so her Fraxion and the other Arrancar could escape. That actually makes a lot of sense, given that's her motive, is sacrifice. So that was probably the most interesting one, I think. And the final one was Zelot Zeke. Okay, one last piece of information really quickly. Someone drew a fan art picture of me. You may have seen it in the last video. I threw it into the intro. If you haven't, there it is. It was designed by Matt245001. I highly doubt that's his last name. Well, Matt's probably his last name, and in which case, Matt. But he sent it to me 2 weeks ago, and I promised I would show it in the next chapter review, which was last week, and I forgot. So at the very last second, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to show the picture. I'll throw it into the intro, and there you go. But I'm sorry for forgetting that, throwing that in at the last minute, but thank you very much. It looks amazing. Okay, so I think that covers everything I wanted to get across there. Oh yeah, by the way, I can disintegrate index cards with my mind. So yeah, that's where that went. Intro! Hey everybody, Tekking101 here to review Bleach Chapter 488, entitled Bond Behind Blast. It's like a tongue twister. Bond behind blast, bond behind blast, bond behind... screw it. So, chapter starts off with Apache fighting with Mila Rose, because, you know, that's just their thing. And Sun appears in front of Kurji, stating that because those two are arguing, I will fight you. And Mila Rose and Apache snap at Sun for saying that. Yeah, because that only happens every single time that, well, they're even in a scene, really. No, I'm not kidding. It really, literally, every time those three ever appear, it always follows the same formula. Mila Rose argues with Apache, and then Sun comes in, and because Sun's apparently the calm one, she states something that insults the two, and those two come out of it, and they snap at Sun. Not kidding. When Ichigo was fighting with Grimmjow, and they made their first appearance, followed the formula. They were fighting against Rangiku and Hinamori, same formula. And once again, same formula. I'm just saying, it's a little bit repetitive there after the third time you do it, Kubo. Whatever. So, cut over to Ichigo and Nell, who are heading toward the battlefield. Ichigo, it just dawned on me that Ichigo never really met Halibel's Fraxions, so Nell is giving exposition about who they are, which honestly would have worked a lot better if we already didn't see them. We already know who they are, so Nell's describing them as the three bestias, basically these three badasses among Arrancars that are like demons pretty much. But like I said, it would be more impactful if we never met these characters before, because we know these characters quite well, and honestly, we know they're really not that strong. I mean, maybe amongst Fraxione and like standard level Arrancar, they might be stronger, and ever since, you know, they've been training for the past 17 months, so they're even stronger than that. But these are the ones we saw get completely fried by Yamamoto in one attack. I mean, granted, Yamamoto is, you know, flipping Yamamoto, but it's just that we know these characters aren't uber badasses, and we're trying, and Nell is describing them as uber badasses. Cutting back over to Apache's group, where they are flat out slaughtering every single member of the Vondenreich they can see while they're arguing throughout all this, so that was kind of humorous. So after seeing these three Arrancars wiping out all of his comrades, this one Vondenreich soldier comes up to Kurji with a suggestion. "Sir, these guys are incredibly strong. We should retreat for the time being." You know, so maybe we could regroup and gather more men and weaponry and maybe think of a better battle strategy. You're gonna kill me, aren't you? I need a minute. I tell you. That random Vondenreich soldier's death, it's gonna be with me until the end of the series. Yeah, I can also teleport. I'm just that awesome. So after more pointless slaughter, Kurji comes up with an idea. He proposes to Apache and their group that since they're both so strong, they should become comrades. So, on one side we have Kurji here, the cold-blooded leader of the Acto army, who is basically the personification of Hitler in the, you know, Bleach universe at this point, who pretty much enslaved all these Arrancars, killed countless more, offering allegiance to the three Arrancar that were subservient to Holybell, who they basically just kidnapped and tortured. I think we all know where this is going. Okay, to be fair, I haven't done that gag in like forever, so I just wanted to do it again. Of course, they decline Kurji's offer, like a boss. And of course, Kurji has the typical shonen villain response. Such a pity. We're gonna have another one of these characters, aren't we? Okay, whatever. So we go over to the Soul Society, where Akon is delivering a report on what's going on with the rebel army. I guess they're calling the Vondenreich now. So after him, Mayuri comes up and addresses the other captains that the rebels are, in fact, the Quincy. Oh my god! I forgot to bring the trash cans back in! Okay. No, really, how was I supposed to respond to that, really? I mean, I was just going to bring up the fact that we already knew it was the Quincy's like 8 chapters ago, but here's my question. And I guess the question, well, I don't know if I would make this a question for you guys because it's kind of rhetorical, but Mayuri knew the Quincy's were behind this, because in the very first chapter of the new arc, in the very first few panels, nonetheless, he stated it's them, which he knew it was the Quincy's. So, why did it take this long? It took the rebel army breaking in, Shojiro dying, it took all of this for him to finally come up and state, it's the Quincy's. It's like, this is the first time he's actually making a deliberation in front of the captains that this is the enemy that we're actually fighting. This is kind of a big deal. But he doesn't say it's a big deal. He kind of tacks it on at the end. It's like he waits for Akon to do a very deliberate report, which we hear is like very long and very, thorough. But he doesn't mention it's the Quincy's. Mayuri just comes up and, oh, by the way, yeah, the enemies, yeah, they're the Quincy's. Just thought I'd throw that in. I don't know why he waited this long. Maybe it was common sense. Maybe everyone knew it was the Quincy's, but Well, I don't know. It also states that because what happened to Chojiro, they have the ability to block the Bankai, or at least render it, and then he gets cut off by Yamamoto. And, just like, anybody would after losing, like, their like, the second in command, the person that followed them very loyally, he ain't having any more of this crap. He's like, everybody, grab your weapons, we're going to motherfucking war! The final scene of the chapter, we have Ichigo and Nail coming up on the battlefield. Another large explosion is heard, and for a second or two, you think, oh, wait, Apache and the others must be winning! Yeah, wrong. Oh, geez, wow, that's pretty grisly. And, thanks for Kurji for, coining shonen cliché number 14. This new character who's displaying powers that we've never seen before and is immensely strong against these other characters that have trained for 17 months, honing all their skills off-screen. Yeah. Sucks, doesn't it? And final page, we have Kurji spotting Ichigo and noting that this time it's a Shinigami. So, end of the chapter. Next one is going to be Ichigo versus Kurji, most likely. I don't know if it's going to be a full-scale fight. It might just be like, just like a back and forth, because this is the first time Ichigo's actually met a member of the Vandenreich. I mean, Ivan, I'm reluctant to count Ivan, because Ivan wasn't, I guess he was in a wrong car the whole time, so this is the first time he's actually meeting someone like this, and I'm thinking maybe there's going to be some, they're going to be talking about, because they'll have to talk about Uryu eventually. They're going to have to address this, that Uryu is a Quincy and these are Quincy's. It's going to happen eventually. Kubo's building it up for a reason. There's going to be a big reveal, where Uryu is connected into all of this, how Uryu feels about all this. It's going to be revealed soon. There's probably going to be a whole chapter devoted to it, probably. Just a whole chapter of either the Vandenreich talking to Uryu about it, or just the conversation in general, because that's going to happen soon. As for Apache Milaro's Sansan, Kubo never kills anybody that much, but it is the final arc. Those characters really weren't that major to begin with, and Kurji's a cold-hearted bastard at this point. And Kurji has been shown to be a cold-hearted bastard, so, I mean, if they're not dead, they might be able to, be alive for a couple seconds, be like, Ichigo, save Halibel or something, and then die, because I don't think that these characters are going to be around much longer, just given the whole case with that. Soul Society's going to war. What's going on with that? Yamamoto's determined to make the first move, so maybe, I mean, he was dead set on finding, he wasn't even interested in what they were. He was just interested in where they were, so, they could go and, break down their front door and go Fairy Tail Phantom Lord style and kill them for killing Chojiro. So Yamamoto's definitely determined here. I was thinking that might maybe mess him up later, because he lost someone that was probably his closest member of the goatee, and that might mess him up a little bit and distracting in battle, but we're not even up to that yet. I'm pretty sure Yamamoto's going to fight in this arc again, and maybe we'll even get to see his Bankai, but I don't think that'll be for quite some time. So yeah, this is Tekking101. Thanks for watching. Signing out.